I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I thought your performance was really subtle. I thought Vilma was just, it was like, wasn't over the top, it wasn't too, I mean, it was just like, I'm just an average person doing is that the way you played it, or?
I think that was, what was interesting to me about the character. I mean, when you've got somebody who on paper is so outrageous and who's essentially, I think, delivering a message of acceptance, that seems like part of the task. I mean, the idea being that if Vilma can be comfortable in her own skin, anybody can.
Yeah. Now, as a actor director yourself, and Ang Lee, I always hear the word obsessed with with like everything he does. And I say you smile a little bit when I said that. Is his attention to detail something that is welcomed, or I mean,
I did this film because I wanted to work with Ang Lee. Period. That was the major draw for me. And I think what I've learned about him as a director is that there are times when it's safe to give over control of something to a director, and then there are times when you have to bring a fully formed character to the set and maintain it and drive it yourself. But Ang is somebody who I think you're really missing out on an opportunity if you don't relinquish control to a certain degree, because he really has a wonderful way of finding the thread of humanity, which is the most important thing, and I think is what drives his films. So that process was really enjoyable for me.
Yeah. Now, everything is beautiful. Illuminated it was a beautiful film, and Ang Lee, we've seen his films are beautiful. I mean, like what we're talking about being obsessive and everything. But are you sucking in that knowledge, getting ready for for the next project that you want to take on yourself, or I mean?
There's no doubt that the big thrill for me of doing this film was working with Ang and just getting to watch him do what he does so well. I think I learned a lot about. There's a lot of outrageous things in this film, and what he does to bind them all together, in my opinion, is a sort of careful and honest observation of them. And I think that's what kind of brings the humanity of the thing to the surface. Because when you're doing a sort of a Borscht Belt comedy about Woodstock, you really run the risk of not dehumanizing it, but distancing it. And that's sort of Ang's unique talent, is that he finds a way to make it personal. I mean, just the idea of taking an historical event like Woodstock and looking at it through the narrow perspective of a gay Jewish man who's sort of trapped in his family business gives you an incredible perspective on the event and history.
Now, Vilma's backstory, did you have it in your mind? Did Ang give it to you? Or because there seemed to, we heard a little bit about the backstory, but I would imagine going into this character, you wanted to know everything about Vilma.
Mm-hmm. Well, most of it's on the page. She's a grandfather. She's a Korean War veteran. And there's a lot of contradictions, but those are the sort of things that I think actors thrive on. Those are the things that make characters interesting and dynamic.
You don't go any further than that, though, or you don't, in your mind, what made Vilma the way Vilma
yeah, well, you make decisions about a character, you make decisions about their history, and then you allow them to interact. And the way that they interact with other people, I think, is the sort of finishing touch on what forms them as human beings. And I think in this case, the story's primarily, at least for me, the Vilma Elliott story is about someone who's conveying a message of acceptance to a younger character. And the idea that if someone like Vilma can be comfortable in their own skin, then anybody really can.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.